Indeed. Well, we can cross back to Perth and to Glenn Campbell. Glenn.
Well, John, both, as Lindsay says, both the candidates big on keeping Scotland in the UK, both big on delivering on the outcome of the 2016 Brexit vote. Let's get verdicts from three of those who were in the room, three of those who have a vote in this contest, and start first of all with Callum Laidlaw. I can see from your badge you're backing Boris.
Yes.
What did you make of what you heard from both candidates?
I think Boris electrified the room. He was clearly the favourite of the crowd. He was very positive about the union, firm on keeping our United Kingdom together, and made some strong commitments to doing so. I think he is undoubtedly the favourite of the party and will be the next leader of the Conservative Party.
And when you hear him say that he'll keep the existing funding arrangements for Scotland, when he's been so critical in the past, can you believe him on that?
I think we can. I think Boris knows there's a much bigger job to be done at the moment. He needs to deliver Brexit. He needs to bring this country back together. I think he can do that. And I think to meddle with funding arrangements at the moment would be foolish. And I think he recognises that that's something not to be looked at the moment, that we need to keep the union together and be strong.
Kathleen Leslie, undecided at the outset. Have these two helped you make up your mind?
I have to say I am still a little undecided. I was very impressed by both of them when they spoke. For myself, as with the others here, the union is the most important issue for myself. I believe that they both gave some reassurances on that, but I am still slightly undecided.
Did it matter to you that Jeremy Hunt said no would be his answer if Nicola Sturgeon asked for another referendum on independence? Boris Johnson stopped a little short of that, although clearly he doesn't want another independence referendum either.
I believe we've both given a commitment on that, and we voted no in 2014. The people of Scotland were very resounding in that result. So no, I don't think there's any mandate for another referendum, and I do believe we have a commitment from both candidates on that.
Even though there's a majority for it in the Scottish Parliament?
55% of the country voted no in 2014.
Callum Laidlaw is a backer of Jeremy Hunt. How do you think he did tonight?
James Mundy, that's Callum.
Sorry, thank you.
But I thought Jeremy did well. When it came to the substance on how he's going to get a deal through Parliament, I think he performed better than Boris. Boris electrified the room. He knows how to entertain a crowd. But when it came to the substance, I think Boris was lacking and Jeremy excelled.
But can you win a contest like this if you can't electrify the room, if you are a little bit more focused on the detail and the minutiae of government? Can that win the Tory crowd?
Well, this isn't just about becoming the next leader of the Conservative Party, it's about becoming leader of the country at one of the most critical times in our history. Getting a deal through Parliament is the only way to deliver Brexit, and Jeremy Hunt has the substance to deliver it.
One of those in the audience asked very sceptically whether Brexit could really be delivered within a few months. Do you think it can? Do you think either of these men can get a new deal?
Well, I voted for Brexit, and I don't think we can leave by the 31st of October. If we could have left on a WTO basis, we would have been out already. The only way to get Brexit done is to get a deal through Parliament, and Hunt's the man to do that.
Okay, well, we'll see. Kathleen, when you look at the pledges that they're both making on Brexit, who do you find most persuasive? Which way are you leaning in this contest now?
I find it difficult at this stage to believe we will leave on the 31st of October simply because this has already been through Parliament. I'm not seeing anything from either of them at the moment that really suggests we will get out on the 31st of October. I voted leave. I would vote leave again. I don't want another referendum, but I would do that. But I believe that we won't leave on I would like us to leave on the 31st of October, but I just don't think it's going to happen because I don't think there's going to, at this stage, be the majority in Parliament to do that. And I would prefer we left with a deal.
And if we do end up in a no deal, because both the candidates say they're prepared to do that, if that's what it comes to, does that make it much harder for them to keep their pledge on keeping Scotland in the UK?
I don't think so at all. I think it's important that we leave by the 31st of October. I think the country's had 3 years, as Boris Johnson said, to prepare for a no-deal situation. I think businesses are increasingly prepared. The EU gave us an extension to the 31st. It's not an arbitrary deadline. It was agreed with the 27. I think Boris is the man to deliver that. We'll have a new Prime Minister. We'll have a new European Commission. Things can change.
You don't think no deal would make any difference to whether or not Scotland becomes an independent country, whether or not Ireland is another vote on its future?
I don't. I think that the focus in Scotland, people are very, very clear. The referendum on independence was a once in a generation. People want to move on from Brexit. They want it to be delivered. Boris Johnson's the only man that can deliver it within that timescale. I think he's the right man for the job.
Okay, thank you very much. No doubt about how you're voting, Callum. Thank you to you, to Kathleen and to James. From all of you, thank you very much indeed. And the contest, of course, has a few weeks left to go. Voting, though, has already started. The ballot papers have gone out and some have already cast their votes. The Scottish Conservative leader said she was backing Jeremy Hunt. He does, though, have plenty of supporters here in Perth tonight, and we'll see which one ends up the winner.
Okay, and thank you to you, Glenn, in Perth. Glenn Campbell.